Jesus. Hi guys, it's
guys.
CJ
It's
and
CJ and
Jess.
Jess.
We're gonna pick on each other a whole lot, so you're gonna have to get used to it. It's Thursday, probably 11:45 p.m., something like that.
Something like that.
We kind of thought we'd go into a little bit of how our family dynamics works, what kind of got us into the situation we're in now with Raggedy Ann. So we've been together for 22 years. We have 2 kids. Darren's almost 21. He is our special needs kid. And we have a daughter that's 16. CJ works at Kenworth Factory. And I'm a home health nurse for a major hospital out of Columbus. And I kind of just work part-time right now. I think we met when I was 18, you were 19 probably. It's hard to remember now that we're older. He had the Malibu when I first got with him. He got it when he was
17.
Yeah. Didn't you get it off a farmer or?
No, actually, a buddy of mine knew I was looking for a Nova Deuce, and he said that he had found it, and like it was close to a deuce in his eyes. So we went and looked at it, and basically he told me if I didn't buy it, he was going to, and I bought it. And it was an older gentleman that had it, that had started turning it into a race car. He already had the battery relocated in the back and a 9-inch rear end in it. Other than that, it was pretty stock, all full interior, beautiful shape. It had never been smoked in. Just a junkyard 305 that barely ran. I drove it home, and I think it was on maybe 6 cylinders. Got it home and run the firing order on it, and I drove it for probably 2 or 3 years after that with a little 305 junkyard motor in it. And then progressed into being my race car, and the same week I got it, I broke the front seat, and burnt holes in the seat with cigarettes and all kinds of stupid shit kids do. But now it pretty much just sits, and unless this thing breaks, I'll drag it out and do some hard tire racing with it.
Yeah, I think there was a couple different times through our lives that our paths crossed, and we really didn't start dating. I think the first time I met him, I was 16. I thought he stole my money, so I was gonna whip his butt.
Damn drug addict.
I was not a drug addict. And I think the time that we actually met and I took him home, we were at some party at somebody's house, and he asked me if I wanted to get naked. And I said, "Who said that?" And he said, "Me, CJ." And I was like, "No, forget it." Well, my parents were out of town. They were in Hawaii visiting my brother, and they came home to this.
She wanted to get naked.
They came home to him, and they thought, after seeing me with other people, that was the best I was going to do. So they were pretty happy to see CJ. He would drive around in that Malibu without his hood on the car and white t-shirt, which I thought was so stupid. How are you going to be a grease monkey and wear a white t-shirt? You're going to get it dirty. It used to annoy the crap out of me. Because I'm not a car person. I can't tell you what engine's in a car. I can't tell you none of that stuff. I can tell you how to get what you need. I can help you figure out the finances, the marketing, stuff like that. But as far as engine components, have no idea. So I am very much the back supporter of things versus him being more hands-on. But when my parents came home, they gave him the task of mowing the grass. And he decided to wear his racing helmet because he didn't like the branches hitting him in the head. So he ended up staying. He never left. My parents probably like him more than they like me, honestly.
I think they still do.
They still do after 22 years. We pick on each other a lot. Some people don't find it funny. They find it more annoying. We have lots of laughs. We've kind of been through the trenches with our son being sick and getting him through all that, and the car thing. I haven't always been a supporter of cars. For a long time, I felt like they were kind of taking them away from us and the family.
Jealousy.
It was not jealousy.
Jealousy.
But once I got into healthcare and started working in healthcare, I think it was the biggest eye-opener for me for the racing thing, because so many people die with regret. And the fact that he was out there doing what he loved to do, I knew if he was to go that way, at least there would be no regret. I get that question from everybody all the time, how I can let him do what he does and it not scare me to death. And that's the only reasoning I can give. He bought Raggedy Ann before we were building the house. He got it before we started building our house.
And then I just basically collected parts and let it sit until after the house was done, and then started on it. So
Yeah.
it took 3 years,
I think it was more like 4.
4 years before I could get it done.
Yeah. And then I think Jerry Lice came into the picture.
That was, I think, the second season, second year I had it out,
And
and he came in.
he was a big help. Jerry's full of knowledge. Introduced him to some people. I think you guys won a race or came in 3rd one year with something, and that was kind of
We won a lot of races.
it was kind of the inclination that, hey, this car's going to be something.
Realistically, Jerry took me a lot of places that I would never have been able to go without him, financially and mentally.
Yeah.
So
Jerry really was the
Huge help.
backbone for a long time. And they went hard at it after he got invited to Memphis. That was a big, hurdle to get through, and gave the car a lot of recognition. And then kind of after that, it catapulted everything into No Prep Kings. And you guys went hard at that. You were traveling all the time.
broke it every time I took it out.
And broke it every time, and working on it and troubleshooting and frustration. And then things kind of changed. Jerry started, spending more time. His kids were younger at the time, so he started spending more time with them, which is good, because when they're young, you need to spend time with them.
He also got his own car
Yeah.
out finally.
Yeah, it took him a while to get his own car out.
After his own hurdles and misfortunes with the car thing, he finally got a big tire car and got it out and went racing.
Yeah, so it was good to see him do that, and he wanted to bring CJ along, like he had come along for CJ, but with CJ working a factory job, and then with our son, CJ just wasn't able to pick up and go to help out all the time. So Jerry kind of switched gears a little bit, and Ron Ross came in to help out a little bit, and Ron was there for a good part of things too, early on, and Ron introduced us to Robert, his brother, which that's how kind of CJ got introduced to Dig or Die, and that came into play. Ron ended up getting married, and did things with his family.
Traded him off for some brownies.
Yeah, we traded him off for
wife.
brownies.
Now wife.
And they live in Florida, so we see
He's
him
happy.
every now and again, and that's good. But we kind of been doing this for 20 years, and there's a lot that goes into it during the week that people don't see Thursday, Friday, and Saturday when they're there at the track. There's a lot of overthinking. There's a lot of changing things, wondering if it's right, I guess.
And not a lot of testing.
Yeah.
I don't get to test very much.
Yeah.
So like this weekend I'm going out with a different set of front struts on the front of the car, and like I'm not gonna get to make a pass at them. I'll have no idea what they do. So I'm gonna guess on settings and see how it goes first round.
Yeah, compared to a lot of people, we live really a practical life. I mean, we both have jobs that we go to every day, every other day. We come home. A lot of the times during the week, it's just us milling over what race would best fit us for the week. the weekend, how we're gonna do travel. I look at hotels, I zoom in, look at the parking lots to see if it's big enough to get his truck and trailer in. About food, about entry fees, all that stuff. And, you know, he's getting parts ordered, talking to sponsors, making sure that, you know, we're representing them the best that we can do and putting them out there, because that's a huge help. In the beginning there wasn't a lot of that, and now we kind of have some of that, and it's a huge
I
asset.
honestly tried for a couple of years to get sponsors, and nobody would sponsor an old ugly ass piece of shit, regardless of how many races it won. And then I just said hell with it and didn't worry about it. And honestly, people started coming to me, and it made a big difference. Instead of me going out and trying to get them coming to me tells me that they want to be a part of it, rather than me going to them and basically begging them to be a part of my program. And I like to have people around me that want to be there.
I think too, here recently, since our daughter's got her license, I've been able to go a lot more, which I wasn't able to do a whole lot. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes I didn't want to do. Dealing with him all week and then having to deal with it on the weekend too was just not where I wanted to be. So I'm getting to talk to a lot more people than I used to.
Little wife over here thought it was a damn vacation to go out and race all weekend.
I would make a vacation.
No matter how much I'd tell her, I work twice as hard going to a race than I do going to work. She didn't believe it until she came and actually saw the action that goes into racing whenever you're in racing.
Well, there's that. You help a lot of people.
Especially with a nitrous car.
You go around to everybody's pit when you're not busy. You check the track. You're gone. Like, you go. And you're exhausted when you get home. And I know everybody appreciates that. And it's nice to see you helping other people because they have helped you so much. But me being out there talking to people, a lot of the feedback that I get is this is kind of pretty much the people's car. It's a car that has inspired a lot of people that are just average people that work, that they feel like they can get out there and do that. They can work during the week, work on the car, and still get out there and race a car, and it still be somewhat competitive, even without the backing that, you know, other cars do have. So that's inspiring to hear from people. I had a lady tell me this weekend that you better never sell that car or get rid of it. And I told her, don't worry, honey, I'll sell him before the car. So.
That means I'm for sale.
Any buyers looking for cash? So I know a lot of women out there help with the car and really are involved and things like that. That's just not how we function, and it's fine. I mean, it's great to see women out there. We've tried to get our daughter into it, and maybe one day she will be. She's just a little busy right now with her sports and getting ready for college and trying to decide whether she wants to stay here or she wants to leave. So it's part of growing up.
What are you looking at me for?
Because I'm waiting for him to say she can only move an hour away, because that's what he keeps telling her.
When did I say an hour away?
Oh, the other day when you were talking to her.
I don't think so.
You gonna give her away now?
Like the duct tape her mouth shut. But
So a lot of what you do see out there on Raggedy Ann is just him. He has resources that he uses, machine
Bill.
shops that he goes. Bill, our neighbor, comes over.
he's been a big help for the past year and a half.
Yeah, at lining him up and, you know, learning stuff for himself to help out CJ. That's been nice to have.
You know, people come and go. I've learned that.
Yeah, a lot have.
Typically the hard way.
Yeah.
You know, I try to trust in my crew and, you know, let them in on some stuff, and then, you know, I find that it's going into other cars.
Or we even have
that they
one.
help with, or they venture off and jump ship, so to speak.
We even have one person telling people that he built CJ's car. That was surprising to hear too, but it's just I mean, it stinks, but it's part of the game, kind of.
If that's his story, fuck it, let him tell it.
Yeah. I think people try to gravitate toward things that are good, and they attach themselves along with it. And it's not like our luck's always been good with the car.
If it can, it will with me. I don't want to put negative stuff out there though, but we all know that I'll burn some shit up. So
Yep. But we just wanted to give you guys a little bit of background on it. We have more to come. There'll be races every weekend, so we'll be doing videos on how to get ready for that. We constantly have stuff happening around here at the house. It's kind of comical on some of the stuff that we run into, or have people on our property that aren't supposed to be here, or the dogs bringing in animals that we don't want into the garage. And
it's a daily for me getting behind people that can't drive the speed limit.
yeah.
So that's sometimes gets humorous.
Yeah. So much more to come. A lot more of him sharing some knowledge on the car and what he does with it.
I'm not a real smart person, so there's not a whole lot of knowledge to share.
All right, guys.
Let's do it.
So today's Monday. CJ just got off work a little bit ago, and it's really hot outside, so we are chilling out in the basement. We wanted to talk a little bit about our journey and how we met Street Racing Channel. So CJ will kind of go over that, and we'll kind of just talk about that.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that they had locked in to race somebody else. I'm not 100% sure who that was, but I do remember the car wasn't ready, or they couldn't get the race off. So I believe I was in the parking lot, or somebody got a hold of me and said, hey, there's these pretty much newbies looking to do some street race. I want to know if I was interested. And of course I am. They said they had never done it before and all that stuff, so I don't believe anybody that says that, but I do now. They were new. The truck wasn't untested. I mean, it got down the street really well. Actually, I'm pretty sure Billy beat me. Pretty sure he beat me the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ran again, or we ran 3 times, or whatever it was, and it was kind of back and forth. We ended up both getting a couple victories there. Throughout that, throughout the years there, as time went on, they never did give up, and they actually got more into it, and started videoing everything. So with that, come a lot of animosity, because the older guys wasn't accustomed to the videos. Street Outlaws come out, and the videos was something that you just didn't share who was racing, where you was racing. It was all secretive. So the Street Outlaws deal come out, and Billy was pretty much videoing like damn near everything. Got in some trouble because of the videos and stuff like that, but it was almost like a new era. Like, it was accepted for the most, and it was really, really changing for the world, I believe.
Yeah, and it really changed the scope for like Ohio, and for you being, you're getting your car out there.
Oh, absolutely.
With the wheelies that it was doing at the time, because we were still trying to figure things out. For people to watch that on a channel, it was just,
I believe
really good.
For the most, the reason the car is so known across the country and then beyond is because of Bill and Billy.
Yeah.
The view and vision they had that they worked toward.
Yeah.
It was a big game changer for us as well.
Yeah.
With the ADN car.
I feel like too, because they're really successful at what they do, which is amazing to have that catapult and take off like it did.
But anytime that something is doing well, people want to point out negative things and try to take it down. It's happened over their course of things. You know, you kind of see things on the internet and if people trying to tear them down, but from our side of things, they have done nothing but been helpful to us. The time that CJ was out there by himself, going down to Digger Die or out to races, they were there helping line him up. They offered him, you know, room and board at the house that they had rented for him to stay at, food. I think if you guys, one time you broke or something and they had parts and they offered it up. I mean, they are truly a good set of people and their family. They're a really tight-knit family.
Yeah.
So I can't say enough about them, good about them, and I know CJ, they're experiencing it. He has nothing but good to say about them.
Robert was a big help too whenever I would go to the Carolinas if he was there at a race, whenever I was rolling by myself.
Yeah, because there was quite a few trips down there that he was by himself. I will say that, you know, Bill and Billy and Tommy all have been really encouraging us to start this YouTube page for a long time.
I'm not a camera person.
He's not a camera person, and
Pictures.
I didn't want to deal with it. I have enough kind of going on. He keeps me busy, the kids keep me busy, and I have my own life.
Really?
I do. I know you don't believe it.
I'd like to know who he is.
Right? His name's Charlie, remember?
Yeah.
But they kept encouraging us to do it and that we could do it and things like that.
Offered up help if we have any questions. Many people have.
Yeah.
Honestly, since we did this, there's been a lot of people that's offered up any advice or help or anything like that, and we appreciate that as well.
I think the biggest hurdle I had, I didn't really want to put our lives out there for people to judge and comment on, because in my situation, I kind of get that already without being on social media and having myself out there. I know people that have been around us before have said that, you know, I've been controlling of him or I don't let him do this. I'll give you a prime example, okay? I had COVID in November. We both had COVID in November.
Well, watch what you say on camera.
I don't give a shit. So anyways, this motherfucker right here took off and left me go race in Tennessee. Stayed at the hotel that my ass paid for.
She tested negative.
But I had it. When he found out I was positive, he felt like an asshole. So he came home. But that right there is a prime example that I don't control him. He makes his own damn decisions. So he does what he wants to do.
She tried.
We talk about things. I think that we're good at talking about things. Maybe. On what we want to do. We both might not agree on it, but we do have the conversations on what would work best for us. I guess, and people, you know, sometimes when I go racing, they're like, oh, why is she here? Well, it's kind of, it would be the same thing having a mom that's carried a child for 8 months and then she has a baby and you're telling her she's not the mother of that child. I've been here the whole time.
Just haven't so much been present as much as you would like.
Yes. And so that's why I didn't really want to put it out there, because I kind of get judged a lot, and people have a lot of negative stuff to say all the time, and I don't like it. I know it's part of it, but
in all seriousness, I don't typically talk bad about you, because if I don't, we end up arguing.
That's the truth. You guys will probably see us argue a lot. We're just two very passionate people.
Anytime I've ever said good things about her and she wasn't there like the other people, I come home and it's just hell.
Yeah.
So I don't talk good about her.
Yeah, my grandpa was a full-blooded Cherokee Indian, and they say I get some of my spunk from him. I was also born in southern Ohio in Appalachian Mountains. Probably should have been born in Kentucky, because if I get mad, it's fireworks.
Nervous?
No.
You get worked up?
Debating on when I'm going to slap you during this video sometime.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Right? Okay. So we just wanted to kind of pay tribute to them, to Street Racing Channel, because they have been so helpful and supportive and just offering help. They've done a lot for the car, Raggedy Ann, and getting it out there.
And they continue to do the best that they can to help us out. They pretty much never back down. So
Yep.
for that, we're thankful.
Yep.
And anybody else that's helped us, so thankful, because there's no way I would be where I'm at. And there's a long list that I could go on the names and rants of, and that's not what this video is for.
Yeah.
So it'll come later, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a video just about our sponsors and people like that who have helped us and what they've done.
Any person, business, anything like that.
Yeah, because there's been a lot of people, not just businesses, that have helped out.
Like Dave. I don't know his last name.
But yeah, Dave,
Over the
whoever you
weekend.
are.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, paid for the entry fee for this weekend. Said he's been watching us for a while. So
Yeah, for the second chance race, just walked up and wanted to pay the entry for me to get in it. And I was already getting in it, and he wanted to pay. So we appreciate stuff like that for sure.
yeah, and we're not experts at this. We're learning. As the channel grows, we plan on investing in better equipment for better sound, and bringing the equipment to steady the camera, having the camera at the right angle. Sometimes when you're at the racetrack, the background noise, you can't get away from some of that. It's just going to be there. But we're doing our best, and we're thankful for all the feedback that we're getting on it. So if you can just stick with us, we'll get there. I hope so, between both of us and our daughter helping out, because she's a little more tech savvy.
Yeah. We are still a working family, working to support each other, and basically if this works out for us, it can work out for anybody, you know what I mean? So the sky is the limit, I think, for anybody that's willing to take a chance.
Yep. So with that, we'll kind of just end this, because if we keep going, we'll probably end up in an argument. We're real good at it.
And we'll sit down here for hours.
Yeah.
Talking.
And we won't move. Just to give a little background story, we are both wearing CJ's boxers. Yep.
That only goes one way. I don't wear hers, just so you know.
That's a great idea. Maybe we should put that on camera. Yep. All
They're
right.
not gonna like to see us naked.
Everybody likes people naked.
That's OnlyFans material.
Stay tuned for that one.